Come here, boy, show us how you play chess in the slums. The words echoed through the grand marble hall like thunder wrapped in silk. Mrs. Victoria Langford, elegant, wealthy, and painfully arrogant, had no idea that the joke she thought she was making would become the biggest embarrassment of her life. 10-year-old Diego Ramirez froze for just a moment. Dressed in a plain black shirt, he held a silver tray, helping his mother serve at yet another Beverly Hills charity gala. This night was supposed to be about helping underprivileged youth, but here was one being mocked like a clown for rich people's entertainment. Victoria smirked, gesturing to the massive Italian chessboard in the center of her living room, its marble pieces sparkling under a chandelier worth more than Diego's entire neighborhood. "Let's see if the boy can move the pieces at least," she laughed, loud enough for the other guests to hear. Soft laughter followed, controlled, polite, but cruel. Among the crowd were politicians, CEOs, and trophy wives sipping wine. Some of them shook their heads with amusement. One of them whispered, "He probably thinks the knight moves in a straight line." In the corner, Diego's mother Carmen stood frozen. Her hands trembled slightly as she clutched the edge of her tray. 20 years of scrubbing Victoria's floors, washing her dishes, raising her son in silence, and now she had to watch him be used as a party trick. But Diego didn't flinch. He stepped forward calmly, his voice clear and collected. "Of course, ma'am. It will be my pleasure." Victoria relaxed into her leather chair like a queen before a gladiator match. "I always play white," she said smugly. "It's tradition in our family." She ignored the fact that in formal chess, players draw lots for colors. This wasn't a game to her. It was domination. She made the first move, a basic pawn opening. "We learned that one at Harvard," she said with a smug chuckle. Diego responded in less than a second. C5, Sicilian defense. A few heads turned. That wasn't a random move. That was the move of someone who had studied. Victoria blinked. "Huh, he's memorized a few tricks. Cute." But what she didn't know was that Diego had been studying chess for 8 years straight, not in expensive academies, not with a coach, but in the quiet corners of public libraries under dim lights on a second-hand computer he fixed himself. While other kids were out playing, Diego was diving into the minds of grandmasters. He studied Kasparov, Fischer, Carlsen. He didn't play chess, he lived it. And now, in front of 40 elite guests, he was about to turn a game into a revolution. Move by move, the board shifted. Diego's side grew stronger, not by force, but by design. His pawns danced with purpose. His knights leapt like they knew exactly where the enemy was weakest. Mr. Hamilton, a hotel tycoon who had played in college, leaned in. "This boy, he's not just guessing. He's playing a fast dragon. That's advanced Sicilian. Really advanced." Victoria, still smiling, waved him off. "Relax. He probably saw it on YouTube." But her hands were beginning to shake. Diego took his time, but not too much. Each move was precise, clean, deliberate. Then came the trap. Diego made a sacrifice, a pawn offered like a gift. Victoria took it instantly. "See, he's nervous. He's losing." But Hamilton sat up straight, his glass of whiskey halfway to his lips. No, that was a bait. Within seconds, Diego moved again. Check. The entire room went still. Victoria stared at the board. Her queen was under threat. So was her king. There was no escape. "If you save your queen," Diego said softly, "you lose your king in 3 moves. If you protect your king, your queen falls." Victoria's mouth opened, but no sound came out. From across the room, Carmen watched silently, tears rising in her eyes. Her son, the boy who studied by candlelight, who walked 5 miles just to reach a library, who never complained when they couldn't afford Wi-Fi, had just dismantled a millionaire in front of her own kingdom. Victoria slammed a piece off the board. "You memorized that. Someone trained you to embarrass me." Diego remained calm. "No, ma'am. I trained myself, with library books and passion." Hamilton stood up slowly. "That variation, That's Kasparov's game 23 against Karpov. I haven't seen anyone use it in 30 years. Checkmate. Victoria didn't respond. The guests, one by one, stopped pretending. They weren't watching a show anymore. They were witnessing a shift. Carmen stepped forward, her voice firm for the first time in decades. My son is not from the slums. He is from a hard-working family, and today he earned the respect you thought belonged to you by birth. Victoria's face turned red. This is nonsense. He's just a kid. A voice interrupted from the side. Congresswoman Mills. How old are you, son? 10, Diego replied. How long have you studied chess? 4 years. The Congresswoman turned to Victoria. You just got destroyed by a self-taught teenager whose mother works for you. Diego quietly reset the pieces on the board, then turned to his mom. Can we go? I've got a math test tomorrow. They turned to leave, but Mills stepped forward and handed him a card. Call me on Monday. I know a few schools that would be lucky to have you. As the door closed behind Diego and Carmen, the room sat in stunned silence. And Victoria? She remained seated at the board, staring at the fallen king, realizing the real game she lost had nothing to do with chess and everything to do with her pride.